Sibilance.
Syphilis. All right. Are you done? Mm-hmm. You feel better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all good.
Partaking in our pre-podcast recording Little Caesars pizza, which we've never done before.
Hey, don't say their name unless they're going to give us some money. Right? Generic pizza brand.
Oh, that's right.
Place.
Oh, man, that was a delicious Enter Pizza name here. That was so good. It filled me up so well. I'm not going to have bathroom problems at all after this.
I especially enjoyed the customer service at the location name spot.
It was exceptional. Holy cow. All right. Well, we've actually got a third person in the studio.
I didn't think we could fit a third person in here. But you got a big lap, so
we're good. We're good now. So, no, we're actually joined by my buddy Neal Adamson, sitting across from me here on the aptly named Mace Windu microphone.
Nice, very nice.
He's chosen the purple microphone as his microphone of choice. So Neal is an avid podcast listener. Neal and I go way back, many, many, many years. We grew up together, kinda. I mean,
about high school, early high school,
soccer,
grade.
And
you became men together.
Wait, wait.
A whole different podcast right there.
I got to put the explicit label now on this.
Ooh, sorry.
Very, very different podcast. No, we played soccer together. I remember playing poker in your parents' barn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smoking some cigars.
I know.
Explicit label right there.
There it is. Yep. No.
Warning.
It's
carcinogens present in this podcast.
I think that's like the craziest we ever got, though. We were pretty
tame for 17, 18-year-olds. Yeah.
We were homeschooled.
Yep. We were both homeschooled, and Neal's parents have got. Do they still do horses?
Yeah.
As far as like raising them and training them, and
in fact, they've gotten my children into it as well, especially my 3-year-old. She's all about horses now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We bought her a pony.
Oliver's into trains, so we'll just have to buy him a train. That should be less expensive, right?
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's easier to take care of. I mean,
It's
don't
probably
have to feed it.
Yeah, we just park it through the winter.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about anything. I think we're onto something here.
There
You don't have one of those magical come to life trains. You're in good shape. So
Those things never shut up.
Yeah.
I know, right? Good luck getting rid of those when he turns 18. I'm just gonna crash in your basement, man. Oh, Tommy, get a job.
So he goes from Thomas to Tommy.
Right? Yes.
Right.
He's clearly a slacker.
Yeah.
So,
But then once he realizes,
he becomes Tom.
Yeah,
and
he becomes Tom
puts
when
on
he gets
a tie.
Yeah, and he gets a job.
Yes.
He gets a job, and what would Tom do? What would Thomas do? Thomas, by the way, is a fictional train. What would Tom do if he were to grow up? What would be his job?
I feel like it would be dependent upon, like, he would have to change with the technology. Like, when I think of a train growing up, I think of, like, I go into Back to the Future 3 mode where he would, like, be hovering around, like, going from place to place with wings and things like that. So he could do anything. He could be an Imagineer. I don't know exactly what that means.
I'm going drug smuggling.
Yeah,
I think he would. I think he would get into. He would get into it at like the early 20s, and he would realize, oh shoot, I could just go wherever I want. I could take all of this narcotics,
Fit a lot of heroin up in that
smoke pipe.
Yeah.
That's how he gets addicted to it.
Yeah,
he accidentally. He accidentally
Someone
smoked
hid
some
some in
air
there.
quotes on the way to the on the way across the border.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, HIT Entertainment. That's who owns Thomas. If you guys want to run with that and create an adult line of Thomas,
Please don't sue us.
Yeah. It's gonna be really bad. We get slapped with a subpoena of some
it's
sort.
like what the Archie comics people are doing with Archie over the last few years. You know, I mean, Thomas, this clean, wholesome kids character, Archie, relatively the same thing, But in the last few years, I don't know, how much you know about the Archie comics, but he has gotten into a world of hurt.
Zombie.
I mean, yes.
Isn't he dead?
Right now he's fighting, yes, he's currently dead.
Okay.
Because
one universe.
Yes,
It was two different universes.
Yes, they had the classic cop-out where, that was one possible scenario for Archie's life to go and blah, blah, blah.
In the future.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I did not read any of this. So.
Yes, but yes, he's Afterlife with Archie's an ongoing series.
Yeah.
It's been 15, 20 episodes in now, or issues in, where he's fighting zombies. Jughead is a zombie, spoiler alert. It's serious business. And of course, my favorite comic in my collection of all time is from the late 90s, Archie Meets the Punisher. He's gotten into some stuff. Next year, it's Archie Meets the Predator, where the Predator follows them back from spring break, follows them back to Riverdale. He mistakes Betty as one of his targets. So there's going to be some blood in Riverdale from the Predator. The Archie people right now are not afraid to throw it out there. So the Thomas people, maybe they're the same way. Who knows? Maybe it's time for a change.
I'm very excited about. But we said it first,
yeah.
So we should get some sort of a kickback on
trademark.
This. Yeah, we said it. That's all we have to do is just say it, and then we're good. We're good.
Today's date is December 2nd, 3rd, 2014.
Something like that. Yes. The time is officially Eastern as
actual evidence there.
Well, Neal is he's a pretty big Star Wars guy.
Yes.
Cool.
So I thought that it might be good for us to kind of chit chat about Star Wars. There's some new stuff. Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes. This is probably the most timely recording we've ever done. But there is a new trailer that came out, and we're not going to show it because this is an audio podcast.
We've watched it 1,000 times.
If you're listening, chances are you've already seen it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
The real one.
If you haven't,
hopefully.
go look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. And it is called Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm going to, just so everybody kind of has an idea about Neal, take the next 2 minutes or less and give a quick overview of your fascination and passion of Star Wars. What got you hooked?
Oh, geez. I honestly couldn't tell you the first time I watched the series.
Really?
It's been in my life that long, before I can really remember. Earliest memory is watching it at my grandparents' house on their VHS player, because I'm old enough that those were rare back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So
VHS.
I used to love
We had a
Return of the
beta.
Jedi because of the Ewoks. I loved Ewoks when I was younger.
Do you still love Ewoks now?
No.
Not in that way anymore.
As I grew older, I got a good appreciation for Empire Strikes Back. And that's still today my favorite of all of the movies.
Favorite of all?
Oh, yeah.
The one that I brought with me.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
Tony's whipping out DVDs now.
Look out.
Just so we can look at the cover.
Well, we got to have some inspiration.
I just happen to have it with me.
I mean,
so.
you got to have Billy D. Williams looking right at you.
Hey,
Billy D.
Billy D. Billy D. Billy D. Did you guys watch Dancing with the Stars when he was on there?
I don't watch that.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. My wife Maggie watched it, and I can't not laugh. It's really bad.
That's fair.
It's
Well,
horrible.
Carlton just won it.
I saw that. I did see that he took. And I'm going to be very blunt. When they announced who was going to be dancing on Dancing with the Stars for this last season, he kind of seemed like the ringer. It's
because he's got dancing experience.
That's where he started
and
from.
I'm not talking about
The
Fresh Prince
Carlton, right.
dance.
Yeah.
He actually has professional dancing experience.
Absolutely. Look it up
Whereas
on YouTube.
Everybody else doesn't.
It seems like there's always that one person. It was the same thing when, again, I don't watch the show much, but I know a few seasons ago when it was relatively new that when Apollo Anton Ono was on there, he won, and he's an Olympic figure skater guy, right? I mean, speed skater, right? But he's got that kind of grace and movement built in. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure doing a show like that's hard to not find. We find the two biggest doofus, the 12 biggest left feet that we could find. I'm sure that's not part of the criteria. I wouldn't think.
Well, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It just seems like it's kind of unfair when you have people like, hey, here's, was it Tommy Chong? Tommy Chong was on this last season from Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
And he's significantly older, and we're going to put him up against a guy who's in his probably early 40s who started as a Michael Jackson impersonator. Like,
right.
It's like, come on, man. You're kind of stacking the deck here. Last season, and I'm not a big Dancing with the Stars fan, by the way. I do, however, really, really enjoy Tom Bergeron. Sure. I think he does an outstanding job hosting the show, and that's what I really enjoy watching is how he interacts with the contestants. The way that he interacts with the contestants versus how he interacts with the professional dancers and how he interacts with the judges are three totally different ways. And it's really neat to watch him talk with all three of them and how he breaks it all down. Anyway, last season they had the figure skating gold champions or whatnot.
Okay.
That clock's wrong, so don't worry about that. So,
oh my God, it's midnight.
I know. I was just trying to figure out how long we're going to talk about Dancing with the Stars when we're trying to talk about Star Wars.
So we'll get to Star Wars.
He's got his eyes on the prize.
Star Trek. I mean, I'm over here just
stars, dancing with the.
I haven't had anybody to talk
today.
to about this stuff.
We will.
I'm like over here just like getting itchy. I'm like,
he's going into a Thomas fix.
Yeah. That's right.
So anyway, the long story short. Dancing with the Stars, stop putting people out there that have won gold medals for dancing on ice or whatever else against guys who made their careers by getting stoned. Sure. That's all I'm saying. Sure. Just let it go and it'll be fine. And then you still won't get me as a lawyer. Loyal watcher.
I still stand by if they would rescind the restriction on steroid usage on the show. I think it would just make it that much better. Just let them roid out.
Let them roid.
Yeah, just throw those chicks 30 feet high.
Oh my gosh, I'd watch that.
You could get a lot of impressive moves out of that.
Sure.
I won't watch it until they put archery back in. archery in the shot put.
Wait a minute, I think we're mixing things up.
Maybe.
So Star Wars, the new teaser trailer is out. If you haven't watched it, pause this, go watch it, come back, and we'll chit-chat about it. We're going to bypass episodes 1 through 6 for the most part. We're going to talk a little bit about all of the old ones, but I want to kind of get started with the official new teaser trailer.
Sure.
All three of us have watched it.
Yes.
Off the top of your head, favorite part, worst part. And it's a teaser trailer, so I'm anticipating duplicates happening.
Yeah. I'll let our guest take the lead on this one.
Honestly, I like the Sith Lord with the lightsaber,
with the hilt,
broadsword,
the broadsword,
the broad saber,
yeah.
Kind of Braveheart, Claymore.
Any ideas about what is going on with that?
Well, I heard someone talking about that they thought it was a dual phase lightsaber, and from what I've read, that doesn't quite sound right or matches up.
Now, dual phase, for those of you that don't know what dual phase is. Neither do I. So, Neal.
Well, it's just one of the aspects to it that I've read in some of the expanded universe, which, by the way, is all null and void at this point, unfortunately. But that's another story. One of the aspects to it, you can adjust it. It's got, you can make it short, make it long. It's also supposed to be a little stronger, a little more overpowered, but it has some downsides to it. I don't think I think this is just a different looking one. I've heard theories that since there's no more Jedi around in this time, that this Sith or whoever it is found this. It's like an old lightsaber that he found, like one of earlier models, and I think that could be a possibility, but I'm kind of leaning towards it's just a stylistic choice by the director. I don't think they will really delve into it in the movie of why it looks.
It's interesting that you brought up the director. J.J. Abrams is the director.
Which this teaser trailer felt very J.J.
Oh, it had them written all over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
His handprint was all over it.
Right.
Well, he's actually here with us now, so we're going to bring him.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show. I have no idea how he sounds. So I've heard a few interviews, but it's probably not like that.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't sound like that.
Okay, typical nerd voice. Go. No, I figured you would mention the lightsaber. That seems to be one of the most polarizing aspects as I've been reading some feedbacks of people obviously dissecting and looking, and the big thing is that some people think that the traditional T-bar is not, it wouldn't be as effective as if they were the two sidebars were shunted up a little bit to kind of, because I guess the whole point of the broadsword feel is to stop your opponent from making a side attack. And that's, I don't know, the way that they swung those things around, like Darth Maul could never use this new style because he would chop his own arm off with his little sidebars there.
The original, I want to say original. The normal lightsaber is more of a katana. There's no hilt. There's nothing that blocks that slide. Right. And it's interesting you brought up Darth Maul. Same conceptual design, just double-ended.
Double-ended, yeah.
Well, and that's what, I've even read things on the internet, fans going as crazy as to say, well, in the first trilogy, there was the single sword that signifies number 1, the first trilogy. In the second trilogy, there was the dual sword that signifies the second trilogy, the number 2. And this one has 3 prongs to it, so it signifies the third trilogy. I'm like, you are reaching. Yeah. You are reaching. J.J. Abrams does not care about numbers that much.
I think someone drew up a idea that they had, and he went, I like that, let's go with that.
Right. I think he's
different.
Right.
I think he wanted to put a little different spin on it.
Yeah, you could tell that he's trying to ride that line between, because like even the shot of the Millennium Falcon, when you can see it, you could see its radar dish is different. Obviously, they had to get a new one. The rear ion engines are different. Even looking at the lightsaber when it crackles, it's not got that classic overall generic
solid
glow
beam.
to it. It's very kind of arcing energy, and it's got a very gritty feel to it. So
we're talking about the broadsword one, the one you saw in the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of jumped out at me more than anything else was the fact that when he hit it, if you really watch and you listen, like you put headphones on and you crank that sucker up, it does sound totally different.
It crackles.
Yeah, it has that sandy, grittier type of a feel. And when he hits it, it could just be me, but it looked like his hand was shaking a little bit. Like it was forcing, like there was more, like he didn't have as much control over it as anybody, like Maul or any of the other Sith Lords or whatnot. It felt like whoever was using that, it was new to them. Like when they built it, it wasn't official or whatever else.
That, and I thought it was interesting that the blade extended first, and then the 2 little side guards,
and then the can opener, and then the spiral corkscrew popped out, and then the tweezers. You could pull those out from the bottom.
Love tweezers, toothpick, after dinner meal,
classic.
Yep, absolutely.
Classic Swiss Army.
Love it. Sith Army, if you will.
Ooh.
Hey,
look at you
earning the paycheck.
But you liked it.
Oh, I am totally buying into the hype. I am head over heels in love. So psyched.
And I'm hoping
just like
more.
I was with episode 1.
Oh, yeah?
Episode 1, there was huge build up to that.
Everybody was geeked for it beyond belief.
That first trailer, I remember watching it. It's one of the first, back when the internet was young. That trailer was online.
Sure.
Grainy, very pixelated, but man, it
started the download on a Tuesday, finished the download on a Friday afternoon.
You've got mail. You've got browser.
Mom, get off the phone. I'm trying to download something.
I'm the same way. That episode 1 hype was definitely there. At the time that episode 1 came out, I was working for a radio station in Fort Wayne. I was one of the producers of the morning show, and we camped out for a week in front of the movie theater.
Oh, wow.
We sent our other producer, and one of our intrepid listeners dropped off a lazy boy chair, and he sat in that sucker for a week before the tickets even went on sale, and we bought out the entire midnight showing for the entire theater.
Holy cow.
They were showing it in one theater at that point. So, but yeah, it definitely had that same kind of hype. As we all know, once episode 1 came out, some of that dissipated a little bit. I think with such a vast, rich universe like Star Wars is, you're not going to be able to please all the people all the time. And I think JJ has experience with that with Star Trek and things like that. So, he's just going to do the best that he can. I feel like he's got a great eye for this kind of stuff.
And he's a fan too.
Right.
He grew up just like we did, watching all the series. I don't know how into the EU he is personally, but I think it's in good hands. I don't think we're going to be as let down as we were with Jar Jar Binks and Little Annie.
Now, is George a separate? Like, has he pretty much just said, do whatever you want to do?
He no longer owns it. You got to remember, Disney
That's right.
bought out LucasArts completely. So he He may have some input, some side input.
I think he's got like a producer credit on there.
I'm sure he's got a producer credit, so he's probably sending notes along of, put in an annoying character here.
More special effects. Save it for the special edition, JJ.
There is a Lucas. If you look up on YouTube, there is a Lucas Arts or George Lucas special edition of the teaser trailer.
Is it really?
It's just crap everywhere. Look it up right now.
Yes.
They just added junk everywhere. Like when the Millennium Falcon comes over the dunes and goes to fight the TIE fighters, all of a sudden there's 18 TIE fighters, a few behind him. They're everywhere.
The first scene when the guy in the stormtrooper uniform pops up, there's like critters all in the background.
Sand crawlers.
Yes.
It shows one part through a rock, through a hole in a rock. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That one is probably tied for my favorite fan adaptation, along with you're watching it right now. That one and the Spaceballs edition is phenomenal.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That one's
I'll have to look that up later.
Because they say there's a disturbance in the Force. Can you feel it? And then they cut to the guy. We ain't found. And it's really good. I mean, it is. They sync it up when the broadsword sound hits. It's Dark Helmet with his sword from his crotch and stuff like that. I mean, it's really cool. So it is. I give the fans credit. Somebody did a Lego version. They said they had 12 hours to kill on Saturday, so they just made a Lego version. And I'm like, yeah, that's the best. Where they add about 15 more prongs onto the broadsword. Here comes all the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
I know this isn't a very visual podcast, but there is
great audio work here.
But that is definitely So definitely go look at the special edition, George Lucas special edition. It is phenomenal.
Star Wars Episode 7 trailer, George Lucas special edition. Oh my god!
It's good stuff. It is good stuff.
Oh my gosh! I haven't laughed. The TIE fighters. The TIE fighters. Yeah, this is not good for a audio podcast. But who is the guy who did this? Tim Fed? Is that the guy who actually did it? He's got 8 million views.
There you go. So, it's phenomenally well done. I mean, I think he pretty much nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, people. I mean, back to the real one. I mean, the fans have dissected this thing from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Looking at talking about the actual feasibility of the rolling droid, how functional it would be, to what's on Daisy's little land speeder. Is that a Tusken Raider staff on the side of her speeder? Is she friendly with the Tusken Raiders? Has she killed some of the Tusken Raiders? They're dissecting everything, which is good. But I mean, for a minute and 17-second long teaser trailer.
Well, not even that, because like the first 20 seconds is darkness,
right? And the disturbance. Can you
voiced by
right?
Andy Serkis?
Right.
There
they
you go.
Just announced that because everybody thought it was Max von Sydow initially.
Really?
Yeah. Which makes sense. He's got that old kind of villainy type voice, but
Andy, man, he's
good for him.
He's a good.
He's everywhere now.
Yeah.
And the Avengers too.
Mm-hmm.
And the
He's
trailer
doing
for that.
all kinds of crap with everybody. So I think it's pretty unanimous. The fanboy in all of us is stoked about the trailer, just like the first trailer we saw for Episode 1. We're just hoping that the movie actually holds up to the hype and that everything works out as well as we're hoping.
Yep.
So now to go backwards, Empire Strikes Back, Neal's favorite Star Wars. Why?
I just like the tone of it. And
that's the one that has Darth Vader in it. Right?
Go on.
And then he does,
and it's in space mostly.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Right? And he shoots, he kills people.
I think Hoth is just probably the best scene ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the big AT-ATs. I call them AT-ATs. I know other people like to call them AT-ATs. It's AT-AT. I'm sorry.
AT-AT.
Yeah, I call them AT-ATs. That's. I think I gotta. And then if there's more of them, I call them AT-AT''S. Or there is no apostrophe, is there?
No, not unless they're holding something. Not unless they're possessing something.
Yeah, so AT-AT''ATs. That's what I call them. That joke would have been funny if I would have known how to use an apostrophe, but I don't.
Definitely not a grammar accent. But Hoth is awesome. I mean, it's just. It looks so good, even today. By today's standards, it looks great. And the way the whole movie ends too, you're left with there's a little bit of hope, but I mean everything's kind of down. Han's gone. Luke got his hand cut off. I mean things are down for him, but not hopeless.
Right.
So.
For me, it was one of the first movies, I think, in the 70s and 80s, they started to do these things where you could pretty much bank on if your first movie did well, you can have a built-in sequel and know that you're going to have another sequel to come. So the ending being that way, we're leaving a lot of doors really wide open, essentially saying there is another movie coming down the pipe here. That was very for its time. I think was pretty groundbreaking. In terms of you want to see more. This isn't wrapped up in a nice tidy bow for you. You're gonna have to come back to the theater in a couple of years. And
did they do Empire and what was the Return of the Jedi? Mm-hmm. Did they do that simultaneously, or did they put?
No, I don't think so.
It was a couple years. I know Jedi was released in '82. I want to say Empire came out in '80. And A New Hope was 79 or 78.
Yeah, 78, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
They were 2 years, each one 2 years apart.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think even though they were pretty much guaranteeing sequels at that point, I don't think they were at that point where they were shooting them together. The first real instance I remember of that a sequel being shot together was Back to the Future 2 and 3, shot simultaneously and then broken up.
I forgot about. I was thinking of Lord of the Rings,
right,
and The Hobbit.
Right. I mean, it's become much more commonplace now, obviously, but yeah, back.
It's cost effective.
Yeah.
I mean, keep your actors around for 2 extra months, and they don't have to.
Well, and then movies that go even further, like the Harry Potter series, you don't run the risk of one of your actors dying in between the third and the fourth or whatever, and having to figure out, if you're going to write them out or if you're going to replace them with a different actor, things like that. So.
Hunger Games. Hunger Games.
Yes, yeah.
It's not too soon. It happened a while ago, so I'll throw it out there. No spoiler alert, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if you don't know.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's dead. So
spoiler alert.
Yep.
Katniss is dead.
Katniss is dead. She died in the end of the first movie, but it's all a dream.
She's a ghost.
She's a ghost. All right, so I don't know very much about Star Wars. I'll be very blunt.
Says the guy wearing the Star Wars shirt today.
Yeah, wearing the Star Wars shirt.
I got it at Walmart.
Yeah, I did not. I think I got this at. I'm pretty sure I got this on clearance at Target.
Okay, I have the same shirt with the blue instead of brown.
It ended with a 4, which means, by the way, if it ends in a 4, if you're shopping at Target, you look at their clearance section, it ends in a 4. That's their lowest price. They won't drop it anymore. Did you know that?
I probably did at one point, seeing as how we were both at one time employed by Target.
Exactly. So there you go. If you're ever at Target, and you can't take a gun in Target, by the way.
Good to know.
Yeah, if you ever want to take a gun.
Guess I got to change my plans tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
How would you explain? And I'm always intrigued. How would you explain how to watch them and what order and why? Because I mean, mine's a default. I would just say start at episode 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. But now that they're going to continue forward and they're going to do 7, 8, 9, would you change your perspective on that and say, well, now it logistically makes more sense for somebody brand new coming into it?
Yeah, if it's someone who's has no exposure to Star Wars, I would almost say go in order of the episodes.
Yeah, and I'd be interested to hear their feedback.
Yeah.
Because, we grew up obviously doing them quote unquote out of order.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what people thought of them straight through, if they had a different perspective on one versus.
Because I'm thinking about that with Oliver and with Ivy. Because Oliver's getting to the point where he's actually sitting down and watching more movies. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a point in the next, before episode 9 comes out where they're probably going to want to watch them. And it's like, well, do we just start at the beginning and then run the chance of people not wanting to watch anymore because episode 1 was episode 1. It was episode 1 to me was the most childish of all 6 movies to date.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know if someone who has seen or hasn't seen 4, 5, and 6 would feel that way. They're like, okay, this was a movie, and the next one, oh, this one's better. Next one, this one's better. Number 4, this one's way better. This is getting better and better and better here. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I think our kids, if they were to just marathon it through.
Mm-hmm.
Once they got to 4, 5, and 6, I think they may look at that and go, "This is old and boring."
That's true too. Not as much Flash.
I mean,
Special edition.
Special edition part 9.
even the special edition, because it's it is a differently paced set of movies,
You're
series of movies, whereas the 1 through 3, things are paced a little differently. Things are shinier in 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And there are action sequences in 1 through 3 that are better than
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
It's true.
Specifically, like the lightsaber battles are so much better in 1 through 3 as opposed to. But I think our kids.
Well, our kids are going to have a different perspective because they're going to have us to go, listen,
but if
you're going to like this.
Someone if our kids age with, little to no exposure to Star Wars, which is kind of hard nowadays because it's everywhere. You got, the Clone Wars cartoon series, you got the newer Rebels
right.
cartoon series, Lego, Star Wars, and all that stuff. So, and a lot of that is influenced by 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And not 4, 5, 6. So I think they'll just swing towards the newer series as opposed to the original trilogy, which makes me a little sad and kind of part of me dies inside.
So you both are kind of on the same page as far as start with 1, work your way through.
Yeah, I guess if I was telling someone new to check it out, might as well start at the beginning.
Even if they're regardless of age. If it's an older somebody that's 35, never seen Star Wars before.
Yeah.
Still say start with 1. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to feel very juvenile.
Yeah. I wouldn't even give them that. I would just ask for their feedback afterwards. I'd just listen, they were created out of order. Mm-hmm. You should watch them in numeric order because then you're going to get the story
chronological order.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Get the story chronologically in the universe. So
nice. Well, we've got a little bit of time left for this episode, but I definitely wanted to find out favorite character. Favorite character. You got to pick 1 from 1 through 6. Can't choose 7 yet because there's only 3 characters that we can choose from. 4 if you include a robot. But 1 through 6, you can pick your 1 favorite character and why. I'll start it off just to kind of give you guys just the.
I like the guy with the face.
I like that one guy.
He's got a helmet,
shiny sword, and he was able to do stuff and move things around. No, I actually really, really like Darth Maul, and I'm not a big villain fan, but after I saw Episode 1, which is by far my least favorite, I just thought that if there was anybody in the universe that was just like a bad mamma jamma, that would have been him. I even still think that he's worse than Palpatine or Vader or anybody else. Not necessarily because of the Sith side of him, but just because he's a ridiculously awesome guy. And from a generic fan point of view, which I would consider myself a generic fan, you guys are much more in-depth fans. I think from a generic fan point of view, I just thought that he was a cool character. There wasn't a lot to him. It was very easy to kind of see how things went, and then after the movie, then I was able to find out he actually lives in the expanded universe, and he had all this other stuff that happened to him as well. I always dug Darth Maul. I still dig Darth Maul. I think Ray Park did a great job. He didn't say anything in the entire movie because they overdubbed the entirety of it, but I still think that he was just a cool character. I thought he was a lot of fun.
That's fair. Couldn't survive 1 movie, but...
There it is. It's fair, but
I give Ray Park credit for writing the Ghostbusters theme song and then coming back and doing this. Good for you, fella. Good for you.
That was Ray Park Jr. Ray Parker.
Oh, this is his son. Okay. I get it now. Okay.
He was black, and this guy's white. Wait a minute. This is totally
no
wrong.
question the Park family. All right.
Hey, no, Ray Parker Jr. was the guy who wrote the... Yeah.
Yes,
So he's a time traveler, too. Oh.
Well, that's how Darth Maul comes back. He's the ghost.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. This all makes sense.
Right, yes.
Shiny blades.
It's all tied together.
So favorite characters. So
I know mine already, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, at the risk of throwing our podcast completely to the dark side, mine is Palpatine.
Oh,
because he is like the master orchestrator, like from day one, and we didn't always know that. Like we always knew, like when he was Emperor Palpatine and things like that. He was this old crotchety fella. But then that's my biggest takeaway from the newer trilogy, from 1 through 3, is how he engineered it. Kind of making the Republic kind of his Republic and kind of using everything to his advantage. He is that kind of typical. I don't want to say typical, but he's got that classic kind of smart villain feel to him, instead of just on the flip side, I'm going to go take my lightsaber and beat people up until they listen to me or whatever. He's
like Darth Maul.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. Well, Darth Maul was his crony, so as were many other people. And to take. It might not be that hard to take a little whiny baby boy like Anakin and turn him to the dark side, but to mold everything the way that it was going to go. Anytime you can win a war, whether mentally or physically, against the likes of Yoda and Samuel L. Jackson, you got to give that guy credit.
Samuel L. Jackson is a real person. It's not just a character, right?
Oh no, he was
morphed
right.
into
Mace Windu was his alternate secret identity. He's really Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. In Avengers, he's Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm tired of these.
The eye patch. I know the eye patch confused. Yes, that's right. Tired of these MF and Siths on this MF and planet. Yeah, Palpatine.
Well, I got two answers.
Palpatine. Feels like a Ray Reddington, or was it Ray Reddington?
Who?
From Blacklist.
Ray Park Jr.
Right. No.
You're easily confused on this, I can tell.
No, Black Helmet Man. Yes, Neal. Are you going to dark side? Are we going to do?
No.
All right.
No.
I didn't think you would. I didn't think
because if we stick to the Star Wars movies that were theatrically released,
yes,
nerd.
Because I'm kind of getting a loophole in here. Clone Captain Rex.
What? Whoa!
You see, the first couple episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars cartoon series was theatrically released.
That's true.
Yes, and one of the characters is Clone Captain Rex, and he's probably my favorite expanded universe character. Now, if I had to stick to the originals, it'd be Obi-Wan. I'm an Obi-Wan guy. Both Ewan McGregor version and Alec Guinness. Both. I mean, I think Ewan McGregor nailed him.
Yeah.
To the T through the 1 through 3. I mean, he did a great job with him. And Alec Guinness, I mean, he's a great actor. So his role in A New Hope, I loved it. I've loved it since the beginning. So Obi-Wan / Clone Captain Rex, my loophole character. got you on that one, didn't you?
Well, I did specify Star Wars 1 through 6.
Okay,
yeah, that's all I'm saying. But that's fair. I mean, I didn't know about the other ones, being generic Star Wars fan number 722. But it's cool. It balances it out. It balances the Force by having two. Well, would Rex be good or bad?
Oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
in fact,
the clones are fighting for the Republic.
For Order 66.
Yeah, he actually went against Order 66.
That's right. Yeah, Order 66 was the one that killed the Jedi. That's our side, the dark side.
Oh man. Okay.
66. Go ahead and do it.
Originally, that's what Palpatine was supposed to sound like. Yes. All right. Well, that wraps it up. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed this chit chat about Star Wars. Neal, thanks for tagging along with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
had a lot of fun.
Tony.
Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I guess.
There it was. Later, everybody.